Imagine that you question whether the American form of democracy, with its embrace of corporatism and its history of imperialism, is the best way to govern the nation. Imagine that you talk to others about your beliefs. Imagine that you write articles and teach classes and hold meetings. Imagine, in the end, that you go to prison for it. In the summer of 1948, scores of FBI agents raided homes and offices in New York City, Chicago, Detroit, and Cleveland, and arrested a dozen leaders of the American Communist Party. The men were charged under the 1940 Smith Act with conspiring to advocate that the United States government should be overthrown. The evidence against them was their embrace of communism, their lectures, and their books. Not that they had hatched a plot. Not that they had incited others to revolt. The evidence was simply that by believing in communism and teaching its tenets, they were engaged in a conspiracy against the United States government. The trial lasted 9 months. The jury deliberations lasted 7 hours. Each of the convicted men was sentenced to up to 5 years in federal prison, and their lawyers were jailed as well for contempt. All appealed, but the U.S. Supreme Court put more weight on the Smith Act than on the Bill of Rights and upheld their convictions. The criminal hunt for communists was on, and it didn't end until 8 years after the prosecutions began, when the Supreme Court finally reversed itself in a related case. But the damage was done. Here in the land of the free, political dissidents went to prison for their beliefs. Civil rights were trumped by fear. Lives were destroyed. And a political party, small and inconsequential to begin with, was all but dead. The right to dissent crushed by what President Truman described as a national hysteria. My new book, The Fear Within, Spies, Commies, and American Democracy on Trial, dives deeply into these forgotten events from the Cold War era. The intent isn't to refight these old battles, but to remind us that if we don't learn from our history, we are destined to repeat it.